Hello ladies and gentlemen, let's try to make this review a little bit quicker than the last one because that was a 2-hour video. If you made it to the end of the last video, then you know. Let's jump right into the draft. We have the Renekton ban, the Ornn ban, the TF ban, same bans that Top Esports did the last time on red side. We have the continuation of these bans. Honestly, I don't know. Like the Quinn ban is to force the Renekton out, but I can question it. The Orianna ban is specific to, of course, Knight. It's one of his better blind picks, but you're playing against Knight, so you know it is what it is. This time around, Graves was the first pick choice. I think Graves' first pick signals to me that JDG were not ready to play Lucian. The tricky thing is, Lucian is the final mid laner together with Sett that synergizes with Nidalee. And I think the thought process as well is because Renekton is out, that Graves prior goes up. I think this is the thought process. Nevertheless, we continue. So we have the Graves first pick, and then we have Ashe. Yeah, everyone's asking me about Caitlyn blue side ban, but this is just a preference thing. I don't know why this is their preference. Obviously, I disagree with this. I think Caitlyn Ashe can be traded, but it is what it is. So they go for Lucian Ashe. The reason they pick Lucian is because they know Nidalee is open, but this leaves the room for some traps here, right? You know that the enemy needs to pick jungle here on third, so you could potentially pick a top and know that they can't counter it, and then you have 2 free bans, right? This could definitely be a strategy on blue. So we have the response, we have Zoe synergizes well with Graves because Zoe can play for prio, and we have a very similar dynamic as last game. The difference here though is that Zoe Graves is much better than Zoe and Nidalee together because of the mixed damage. And inherently, you know, Zoe, if she hits a bubble, Graves can time his damage together with Zoe, and they can look for some burst situations. So this is definitely way stronger than the previous setup with the Zoe and the Nidalee. And then the Jhin into Ashe, it's also something that we see a lot into Ashe. But all in all, we continue the draft situation. We've commented on all picks. Strong 2v2 mid for Lucian Nidalee. No CC setup, so of course there's room to outplay. That's important to note. I favor Ashe in this trade over Jhin, but they are looking for the Graves because, of course, Renekton is out. The key thing about Graves is the top laner he wants to play with is, for example, an Ornn. That is so good. So the issue with this entire draft for Top Esports and why they honestly throw the whole game is just they ban Camille, they ban Sett, and then they pick Wukong. So what on earth are they smoking with these bans? So Sett ban is complete troll because right now enemy is already Graves jungle. Sett and Graves don't belong in the same game. Camille and Graves also don't belong in the same game. And lastly, Wukong is good into both. So here Jace and Cannon are banned because the idea most of the time is that they want to blind pick some tank. The purpose, you want to pick a tank together with Graves because the synergy of the 2v2 is just ideal. Top lane tanks aren't champions that need to like top lane tanks aren't champions that need to be played into, but when they do and you can burn their cooldowns for Graves' advantage, then Graves is very, very happy. Like if he has an Ornn top side and Graves efficiently paths into top and he has some money to pick up, then, it's cool. Precis slå på de fingrarna, vad menar du? Jag förstår inte vad du menar, bro. So most of the time here, they're going to blind pick Sion, right? I don't understand why they didn't pick support here or why they felt the urge to pick Wukong, because the things that counter Wukong is the Malphite. The reason a lot of the times you avoid Malphite, even though the ultimate is so goddamn OP in a lot of games, the key thing here is the matchup top. But Malphite can actually beat Wukong. And if Malphite is in a matchup where he can win, that is too much. Yeah, Mordekaiser is worse because the synergy with Mordekaiser and Graves is just worse. So you just lock in Malphite because the enemy is Lucian Ashe and you're going to have legit 800 armor. You're gonna have 800 armor. Öldürlek sövdüm yani. Oh, okay. Oh shit, jag läste fel. So just the fact that you pick Wukong here just makes no sense. I don't understand, man. I really don't understand. Even if enemy picks Wukong here, let's say that's what you're afraid of. Enemy picks Wukong. You can go Malphite. You can play the Malphite. I just got to go to. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of you, Thorin. What about Lilia here? Like Lilia where? Lilia top? Or what? Where do we want Lilia? People like Nidalee more than Lilia. Lilia is kind of weird because she has some things that are, you know, you can counter Lilia, you know? Wat tycker du om Fnatic Drafts 1-10 Champion Pool problem? Maybe this is coming from a more European setting. Why not just pick North 4th and have the counter pick top? Yeah, that would be the normal thing to do. It's just, there's no reason. Like, this is just the biggest question mark ever. It's just the big question. This lost him the game. This lost him the game. Lost him the game. Literally lost him the game. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating. It literally lost him the game. Yeah, the Mr. Champion pool is terrible. Let's move on. Let's focus on the game in front of us, guys. Let's keep focus. Should we just blind pick support? Yes. Blind pick support. Change your bans. 4-5 ban was terrible. Like sure, you can ban Camille if you're 5th picking, but Camille Graves is trash. Camille Graves is trash. Set Graves is trash. Like, you don't want to. Enemy wants a tank, and Ornn is already out, so I think Graves' value goes down. So top esports have winning 2v2. Not necessarily. Zoe and Graves can win. Zoe and Graves can win. This is not the same as Zoe and Nidalee. Zoe Graves can win. Like, right now, JDG's draft is monster. Look at this. Nice trade. Nice trade, bro. Nice trade. Yeah, Malphite, you can just go W max in this matchup, and it is just impossible to win. Yeah, Wukong does nothing this game. Wukong does nothing. Like, sure, it can be good against Jhin or whatever, but the fact that the enemy gets Malphite is just too much. It's too much. You can even go press the attack in this matchup. You can even go press the attack. Look at the grasp smack. Oos. Shield Bash is such a good rune though. Unbelievably good rune. Double armor, and you gain more damage off of it. It's just nasty. Oh, camera position, yeah, sorry. Like, even in a world where Wukong gets 10 CS advantage, 15, doesn't matter. You're Malphite. You're Malphite. Fucking Malphite. So top esports have a winning bot lane matchup. Stronger AD, I think, and also Nautilus is good into Bard. But Bard, you don't pick Bard for that purpose. You pick Bard to roam, you pick Bard to, like, his ult scales really, really well, and so forth. This is why you pick Bard. Bard is hard to lane with. Shield Bash Malphite is juicy, Scribbly. Didn't they trade the top lane matchup for the bot lane matchup? But bro, you can blind pick Nautilus and be happy. You're gonna have a good matchup. You're into Jhin. You can ban some supports. Like, you can ban some supports 4-5. Ban Tahm Kench 4-5. Ban Leona if you want. Pick Nautilus. Pick Thresh if they ban Nautilus. There's ways to make yourself have a good bot lane matchup. There's not that many supports that are viable in the game. If enemy bans Nautilus and Leona, just pick Lulu, go Lulu Ashe. It's good. Like you'll be fine. You'll be good. But they're picking Wukong. The thing is, they pick Wukong. They just pick Wukong, and already, if you blind pick top, why not just GP? Yeah, that could work. That could work. Like, I don't understand, because Nidalee Wukong don't have any synergy either. They don't have any synergy. Like, you're not really picking... Like, Wukong just makes absolutely no sense, right? The only idea of Wukong, why it could be good, is Wukong is okay into Jhin and Graves. That's it. Blind Chen would have been better. Blind Chen would have been pretty good. I like that suggestion, actually. But I think the best way is just to play devil's advocate. What do you think the logic was when picking Wukong? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, their bans were really bad. And then when they saw Jace, out, Cannon out. Maybe they were afraid of Zoom's Wukong. Something like this. Maybe Wukong is just comfort champ for him. But bro, you're playing the final, man. Fuck your comfort. Man, you wanted comfort, man. Lay in the sofa. A top matchup is just over. Look at that, man. Look at the top lane matchup. He has a Bramble Vest and it's just lost. Like, how is he gonna compete here, man? How is he gonna compete? Top matchup is just so doomed already. Like, Nidalee needs to go kill Malphite or something, but it's just the CC setup is too weak. Yeah, Graves wants to have lanes where his efficiency can be prioritized above all. We saw a situation that was terrible for Graves, which was the G2 series against Fnatic, where Nico was top and Whipple lost. I mean, Whipple won level 1, 2, and then Nico played in a way like an absolute chimp because Graves was topside, and then Graves had to sacrifice his efficiency to fix Nico's lane, and then Graves is just out. When Graves plays with champions like Malphite, even if he's into bottom side, it's cool. But if he goes into top side, he has a free fucking kill. Because this Malphite ult is busted. Busted. Cat Jam is so fucking... It's just such a good emote. I love Cat Jam. Pepe D. Ooh, Knight almost got it. Yeah, top is over. At the same time, look at this. LS, help me. Help me with the battle against Tiamat. This item is so goddamn expensive. Look at this efficiency, bro. Like, how can you buy Tiamat when you're behind? It's such an expensive item. There are some matchups where Tiamat is important. There's some situations where Tiamat is important. Don't get me wrong. There's some situations where Tiamat is cool. You know, it's cool. There are some champions that can do well with it. But when you're behind and a lot of like matchups where... Like, I hate this item. I hate this item. There are some champions that like it, you know. For example, Shen doesn't have any wave clear, it makes sense. But maybe you could go Bami Cinder as well. Like, there are some unique use scenarios where the active gives you something that makes you win, right? But if we look at this item from a stat perspective, it's goddamn garbage. It's goddamn garbage. It is Garbador. It is the crown of the king of Garbage Kingdom. Isn't Titanic Tiamat active good? Yes. Yes. There are some cases where it's good. There are some cases where it's good. Don't get me wrong. Some cases. But in a lot of cases, look at the stats that you get from this. You You buy 2 long swords, which gives you 20 AD already, and then rejuvenation bead already gives you 50% health regen. So what the fuck do you get? You get 5 AD, man. You get 5 AD in the active. Sure, you get the active, but when you're in this position, bro. Health regen is most useful early game, and it helps kill wave faster to free up time. There are some cases where it's okay. There's some cases where it's okay. Jaurim's Fist is also not that good. Like the Titanic item components are actually dog shit, man. They're actually like this fucking item is not good. Like the reason, like, it's okay, right? It's okay. Like, considering. Thank you very much, Pengu Soldier. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. The thing is, when it's fully stacked, it's okay. It's a strong item. It's a strong item. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like, in this game, people ask him what he should buy. He should fucking get Mercury. He should get some Mercury going on for himself. He needs Mercury. Needs Mercury, guys. Mercury. When you're behind, buy the defensive stats. But at the same, you get Mercury and then maybe timeout. Like, this is not a matchup where it's complete garbage to get timeout. I know this might have been the wrong time to bring up the whole timeout discussion, because this is a matchup where timeout honestly makes sense. Because you can't really interact with Malphite, and you just need to kind of push the wave so you interact with Malphite as little as possible. Into tanks, in some cases it makes sense. But in this base, I would probably look to, you know, get the components for Mercury. I'm honestly a big fan of timeout. That's fucking funny, man. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's fine. So for those who don't understand, Thai mat, it means Thai food in Swedish. And he's like, I'm a big fan of Thai mat. Oh, that is insane. That is insane. Oh shit, you make me fucking sweat, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all good, guys. You're not silly. But yeah, but to conclude the conversation, like, in general, in a lot of cases, I think timeout is a bad buy. This case is not too terrible. I think into tanks it's okay because the lane interaction is very slim, but at the same time, like, you're delaying a lot of core items. There are some cases as well, you're playing Shen when you're rushing Titanic Hydra, that's also okay. But I think in a lot of cases, just looking at the stats that it gives, it is quite weak as an item, and it's something that, you know, teams or players in general should think about before they buy. There's some matchups, for example, where it is incredibly difficult to what's it called? What about Vladimir for top esports? So the thing is, Mosamafor, you're thinking about Vladimir as a counter to Malphite, which is, you know, completely cool and okay, and Vladimir would have been beautiful in this game. But Wukong was blind picked, and that's why Malphite's in the game. If Wukong is not blind picked, Malphite wouldn't be in the game. So keep this in mind, my friend. I thought he's Italian. I'm Italian. How about Phage Stout? Good into Graves and helps Lucian and Ashe. Like, Black Cleaver is not a bad buy this game. Like, they're gonna need Black Cleaver. Like, the armor numbers are going to be crazy. Like Mercury, Black Cleaver are the ideal items that Wukong can have this game. Everybody's Russian. Everybody's Russian. Guys, I'm Korean. Please. I mean, Topisbud is winning bot lane, but they could win regardless. Like, they wasted ban 4-5, and they could have set up for a good support pick. Like, they could have won bot lane regardless. It's just the Graves first pick is a bit troll. I think Ashe needs to be first picked. Like, just first pick Ashe. But this Malphite is gonna carry the game. Thank you very much, Raging Pianist, for 10 months. To be fair, you do look Italian. Masz na imię Antonio, nie Yamato. No pewnie, że to jest moje imię. Ja jestem Italienczyk. So jak tak się mówi, a Italienczyk? Nie wiem. I don't know how to say. Włoch. Właśnie Włoch. Włoch, nie Italienczyk. Zawsze po polsku ja zrobię nowe słowo. Nowe słowo. I think ADK Remeta will be the same at Worlds. Maybe addition of Ziggs and Karthus. I think Ziggs Karthus very good. Okay, guys, you're dragging me off topic. Let's focus again. Why does nobody in EU playing Malphite? People play Malphite in Europe. I think flexing Wu support and Vlad top could unironically give you better winning chances. Yes. Literally, yeah. You're right. You're not wrong. I agree. Man, we have some smart people in the chat today. Some smart people. With some very intelligent people in the chat. Malphite plays so bad and still hard 1v9s. Yeah, for sure. Like, he fucking runs it down this game and it doesn't fucking matter. Good to see I will dominate. Good for you to check in, brother. Let me know if you want to do any collabs, man. I'm a big fan of what you're doing, man. Much love, much love. That pick is too good. Yeah, just the fourth pick Wukong made absolutely no sense. Banning Set and Camille into blind pick Wukong was some wizardry shit, man. That was some wizard magic. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. It was very, very strange. They just gave them the freest Malphite pick of all time. It's borderline match fixing. Like, that's how bad it is. Borderline match fixing. Absolutely mental. Alfari played some Malphite. For sure I will dominate. Let's set something up. We can have a chat in Discord or Twitter. Domato. I like the sound of that, man. Domato. Thorin will be there to flame TSM and Fnatic, guys, don't worry. I'm a bit disappointed that no one plays Aatrox in the LEC, only Finn goes and M. That wasn't that good. Bro, I think you're the only one in the world with that opinion. Not that, like, I agree that Finn didn't play that good, but I think you're the only one that wants to see some Aatrox in action. So someone asked, freezing or pushing? The thing is, you can't answer a question like that because it always depends. It always depends. Everything depends. Item purchases depends. That's why, like, sometimes I can just imagine how frustrating it must be for LS, where people go and preach his words and they just misconstrue it completely. Like, I remember the other day, it's like, LS says to never buy Morello, and I was like, what? No, he didn't say this. He didn't say this. Guys, don't misconstrue his words. Why? Why are you doing this? It's all situational. LS also views everything situational. It's very important. Every situation is different. Every situation is different. It's very important. What do you think of lucidity on Zoe here? It's a bit strange. Like this looks like a Sorcerer Shoes game for me. Definitely. And you know, when you're playing Ashe against Malphite, you're just afraid. Like you're just so afraid because you know you will reach a time. You press tab and you see Malphite is... Thank you very much, Balino. Absolutely not off topic. How do I porca miseria search? What's I don't know what porca miseria search and check Chinese little accounts. I don't know. There was a thread on Reddit that showed how to do it. You go on Douyu and there's like a bunch of streams, but I can't help you there, man. Yeah, you press tab with Ashe, and sure, you can argue that Blade maybe isn't the best purchase here. It gave him some lane advantage, but what should he buy? What should he buy to survive the onslaught of a Malphite? It's so tricky, very tricky. And now Malphite is you know, a monster. Already now he's full build. This Malphite is full build, guys. It's full build Malphite. Very dangerous stuff. And this game has also gone in a very tame JDG way, right? JDG like to play these games where it's almost completely centered around what you would consider like a basic game plan. You know, that is like the JDG way of playing the game. If I would define JDG in some shape or form, I would say the team that is designed for this meta. That's how I would kind of define them as a team. They play the meta the most accurately. I would say Top Esports is the team with the highest ceiling because they have mechanically the best players, if you look at it in some shape or form. Damwon, the way I would view Damwon, they are the team that recognizes at all times what their condition to win the game is. Even in this series, sometimes we saw Lucian being ahead and top lane matchup being something that needs to be broken. Instead, they made a play into bottom side. Damwon have very good clarity on what they need to do in order to win the game. If they have a specific matchup or champion that is going to take over and control the whole game, they recognize it as a team and they rally around it. If you look at the series against DRX, the composure they kept and the patience they had in that series was something that no other team had. No other team had. And that is something that is super impressive because it's hard to come by. No other team has this pedigree when it comes to it. Do you think Stormrazor first is the best build for Jhin? It's not bad. It's not bad. Because it's very easy to buy a Stormrazor. Of those three, who has the best 2v2 mid jungle? I would say Knight and Kasa is the best one. Yeah, this was definitely a Black Cleaver Mercury game. Like this Malphite legit has 400 armor already. This is a Black Cleaver Stonkovich. So this is what I Will Dominate meant with Malphite playing like an absolute monklet and it doesn't matter. Like look at Ashe O-Ring, okay? This is... And then you see the Nidalee Spear. This is what I Will Dominate meant when he played like an absolute... Yeah. In Korean you would say one singi, which means monkey. And Topis was kind of gain a lot here, gain a lot. It was very silly. Do the players decide by items by themselves, or the coaches say you have to build X this game? Well, it depends on the people. It depends on the player. No, Castle and Knight are definitely better 2v2 than Showmaker and Canyon. Well, definitely is maybe a stretch, but they had to 2v2 against way tougher competition. There's not really any other strong 2v2 mid in LCK. Nidalee is basically solo killing Malphite here. Fucking Ashe pretending like she did anything. What do you think LPL has done to make them top teams now? Well, they just have the biggest player base, they have the most money, they have the most fans, they can take the best players from other regions. Like, even in this game, okay? Like, Kanavi would be the best jungler in the LCK, together with Canyon. Oh, that's not him. Loken would also be up there. Like, they choose the best players from other regions. They have the biggest player base, so the amount of players they produce is absolutely nuts. They have the most money. There's no reason ever for a Chinese player to go outside of China because the money you can make in China is absolutely busted. It's just... China is inevitable. China is inevitable in the grand scheme of things. How would you rank Wunder, Nuguri 369? I would put Wunder first, Nuguri second, and then 369 third. But I would put Zoom above all of them. He didn't ask about Zoom, but Zoom I would put above them. What am I listening to, man? Opinions on Ashe is going 40% CDR this game, so she can't auto safely anyway. Maybe, yeah. Why are you dressed like a 20-year-old frat boy? Bro, I'm at home, I can dress however the fuck I want, man. Imagine sitting in your fucking seat or whatever the fuck you are on a bus and commenting on how other people, oh Jesus, Zoom. Like, let's just see like this is Limao Bard doing all the legwork, man. Doing all the legwork. And then look at Zoom. Look at Zoom, man. This is Jesus, whoa. This is when you open a Zoom meeting and your camera is like just there, man. Jesus. Like he's playing it so fucking terribly, but it just doesn't matter. It just Ashe loses Flash, and literally Tobii Sports can't play for 5 minutes straight. And even when the Flash is burnt, you can't even say that she can play the game because Ashe is not really doing anything. And giving away Malphite like this with the Wukong is just... Why do you put Zoom above them then? Did he just play terrible this game? Well, that's the thing though, we don't rate players by one game. This is This is obviously his team saying, hey, Malphite's pretty fucking good here, just lock it in. It's like, yeah, bro, I didn't play it in 3 years. Let's just fucking try. That's what this game was. This is literally Wunder Orn. You know, Wunder Orn is like, yeah, just fucking pick me on, bro. I'll figure something out. And it just ease all into the enemy. How many analysts will have an aneurysm if Fly wins Worlds? I don't think anyone's gonna have an aneurysm. That's fucking funny, man. That is hilarious, man. That is fucking funny, man. If that happens, I'll be so fucking happy. Because that would be so fucking troll. Imagine Wild Turtle hoisting the World Cup. Whoa! And then Solo comes in. Yay! And then Santorin. Whoa! That would be mental, man. Just imagine that for a second. That would be... Oof. That would be absolutely crazy. Like a wild turkey. Whoa! Ignar picks up the trophy. He's like, haha, Sneaky. There you go, Sneaky. Fuck you, Sneaky. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke, guys. It's a reference to some old drama. If you know, you know. Actually, that is pretty hype, no? Sneaky, there was so much drama about Sven replacing Sneaky. And then now, first time Sneaky is not in C9 and C9 don't get to Worlds. Sneaky must be fucking out of his mind, man. That must be wild, man. That is crazy. How happy must Sneaky be on the inside? He's just fucking grinning, man. Sneaky, what's the problem? Sven joined TSM, they did not go to Worlds. Sven joined C9, they did not go to Worlds. That is wild, man. He was like whatever when watching. No, he was saying whatever, but his heart was like... Ra ra Rasputin, na 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 na. It was the same for me, you know, when people were like, yeah, how do you feel about Vitality being last place? I'll be like, yeah, it sucks, man. But my heart was like, Ra ra Rasputin, na 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 na. I'm just kidding. Russia's greatest love machine. Yeah, you get me. We are always losing track, man. I'm always losing my mind, man. What do you think about Nautilus Sport? Very, very good. Yeah, like this game was just over in draft, man. Like it's nothing juicy to look at here, man. Like if we want to look at the world where top esports win, it's like 4 core, Last Whisper, Zoom uses his ult into some Zimbabwean location. Look at this Wukong trying to do damage. Look at Zoom. Sipping on gin and Zoom. Why are there teams like T1, IG, FPX, RNG, and C9 that were dominating league in the respective region and Worlds time to time didn't make Worlds, despite having the RB aside from Faker the best players in the league currently? Well, it's hard to stay on top. It's very hard to stay on top. You need to lead the way. The thing is, when you're on top, everyone tries to get you. Like with Wukong, with Vitality, we were first place for like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, you know, everyone starts fucking looking at us. Everyone starts looking at you and everyone's trying to find ways to crack you. It's very, very hard to be on top. sometimes when teams try to learn and add additional abilities, the thing is, every team that TSM had to beat on their way, they were playing way worse than usual. Whether it was C9, FlyQuest, and Team Liquid, they were trying to like reinvent and to, you know, add additional weapons to the repertoire, but that is not needed to win the NALCS. And I feel like C9 lost themselves in that search. They just lost themselves in that search for trying to get better. Imagine a visual, okay? Imagine a visual. Just imagine this visual, okay? So imagine this is C9, right? They're leading the way, and then the other teams are right here, right behind them, right? They're leading the way, but this is complete blind, right? This is areas that they need to kind of like lead the way somehow. But somewhere along the way, C9 went fucking this direction. And then everyone caught up and they're like, where the fuck did C9 go? You know? The point is, I think in a world where C9 didn't feel the need to, you know, improve and to get better and to, you know, improve their game, they wouldn't have lost the things they were actually good at. But naturally, this is something that you need to do because you can't stay on top forever. And the teams that manage to do it well, that's just so goddamn impressive. It's so impressive to manage to actively stay on top. It's honestly super, super hard. Very, very hard. That's why, you know, Team Liquid were in a dilemma, right? Team Liquid were winning back-to-back NALCS over and over again, right? They were winning back-to-back, but they accomplished nothing besides the second place at MSI. So they accomplished very, very little, right? Very, very little. And my point is, they managed to win the LCS, but they were always the same team, right? They're always the same team. They're always the same team. That's the thing. G2, look how much G2 is trying to improve and to shift around and to try new exciting things, but still managed to win the LEC, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Man, they put their mid laner into bot lane and then they swap back in the middle of the split and then they were relaxing. They are trying to make sure that they are not burned out coming into the World Championship. They are trying crazy things. A lot of teams that try to do the same thing fall. They fall, man. They fall. A lot of teams that try to change things up that much, they fucking fall. And that's why now C9, they were on top for one split. It's tough to be on top for long, man. It's very, very hard. Same thing in the LPL. Very hard to stay on top, man. Always. Like, this year, you have players that went under the radar. Like in this final, maybe not so much. Like 369 is a name we've seen for a long time. Zoom 2, Canavius is something that was hyped. Casa, Knight. A lot of veterans, right? But there is a lot of like new names that are coming up. Like Bin, not Ben. Bin, the top laner, out of nowhere. You know, they're producing new players. It's hard to fucking stay on top. Who do you think is the best 2v2 mid? I think Top Esports. FPX, yeah. Like they won Worlds because of the... Oh, this was fucking nuts. This is nuts. Yeah, Flandre is a classic player, though. Flandre is a classic player. Like I was trying to make the point that there's like new blood coming in, you know, and making the league so much better. And also like RNG, they lost Uzi. They lost Uzi. Like how do you play without Uzi? And then they lost Karsa. And then there was like this problem about them. Like they lost Wink too. Like they lost a lot of fucking great players. They lost a lot of fantastic players. Wait, well, how did we get to Nash? Like we were just fucking talking shit. We had the 2v2 on bottom side and then they just went straight up for Nash. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. They lost Lang X, yeah. What happened to FPX this year? Meta. No more Nautilus mid. Yeah, the Ash arrow hit Malphite and cancelled his TP. Look at Malphite. Yeah, how the fuck do you play this game as Jackie Love, man? It's just... Go fucking next. Oh wow. Malphite died. Malphite actually died. Just doesn't have MR, I guess. Let's take a look at Nidalee. Like, Nidalee Spear does a lot of damage here. And then Nidalee... Boom. Man, actually just fucking dies. Like, Ashe survived here. I would never have thought that Ashe would survive here. That is wild. Knight's plays this very, very well. Like, he's here to ready to chip away at the carries in the back. Very, very nice. Black Cleaver was definitely better here. Yeah, Zoom literally trolling and it's still like over. Limao Bard also like like Bard is a champion like Manamune, you know. If you get away with it, then it's really OP. Like at this point in the game, Bard Ultimate is just game winning. Like Bard Ult is such an ult that has so much potential to shift games. That, like his lane phase is the only part that is like weak about him, and it's you know, he's past that point. It's crazy how top esports managed to swing in games even that like look on paper like really lost. Like they still managed to do so much. They managed to get the mid tower. Wukong is pushing. They know their limits very well. This is something that top esports do super good. Like it's like top esports is a very tough team to win against, even when you have advantages. What's next for T1? Off season, vacation. Like, what do you mean? Do you think Kanavi has a higher ceiling than Casa? Maybe. This is Kanavi's first competitive year. Can you fucking believe that shit, man? What on earth? Like, Jesus, man. Kanavi, man. Calm down. Forbes, 20 under 20, man. Put Kanavi there, man. When will you do your 20 top list? I just need to look at more LGD and Suning games. I think T1 had a significant draft problem. Like I don't think they ever figured out how they want to draft. When I understand and I have opinions about Suning's players and LGD's players, then I'm ready to make a top 20 list. Individually, T1 have monsters, I think. Very strong players. They just couldn't piece it together. And there was no playoff buff because they played not in the studio. Where is Wukong's cleaver? I don't know, man. Boris sold too many to all the Graves players in the world. Well, the dark horse is Suning. That is the dark horse. Suning is the dark horse. It's a very strange world. We don't have IG, we don't have FPX, we don't have Faker, we don't have T1. No YamatoCannon. Come on, man. That's weird. That is weird, guys. No C9. No RNG. Do you know SoFM's Chinese nickname? No, I don't know. What is it? No Uzi? Sad. Need to be careful here. Malphite is not in position. Yeah, I understand that. That's why he's not going Black Cleaver. But the issue here is he's not going to be able to kill anyone alone. Like, he needs to help deal with the Malphite. Like, that is the first blocker of any fights. It's more important to enable Lucian and Ashe than to try to disrupt in this game, I think. I think EG fucked up by playing Bang. Did he? What happened to our friend here? Like a cameraman, can you show us what's going on here? Like, did Malphite just one-shot him? Like, what happened? Look at Zoom. Look at the Zoom meeting. Zoom. Zoom. I think Huni and Jizuke would have done well. Static Shiv with Storm Razor is monster, guys. I think that the music just summarizes this game. Do you think T1 new ADC is better and have higher ceiling than Teddy? Teddy had a rough split. But we have too little of a sample size to know for sure who's better than the other, so we shouldn't. I don't want to put my name on it. Alright, that was game number 4. And you're complaining Zoom didn't have the Malphite mechanics.